Hey there and welcome back to Sims Sunday. My name is Pete and this is the series where we try to complete The Sims 3. Over the last few episodes we have been progressing pretty rapidly. In the last one we completed the painting skill and the professional author lifetime wish with Paul, and today's episode will also largely focus on Paul. You have already discussed it in the comments of the last few episodes. Yes, it is time for Paul and Chastity to get serious. So let's have them romance it up a bit. And then, once Chastity finds Paul extremely irresistible, let's propose marriage.
Tanuwafu?
Shazmanu. Kasumade?
Oh, Wixa Nerfy!
Samaza?
Bawisa!
Alright, Paul and Chastity are now engaged, but just like Pete and Ayesha before them, we will have a big wedding celebration. While Chastity practices guitar for a bit more, Paul can make the necessary phone call. Of course, it's going to be a wedding party, so casual attire is out of the question, and we're actually going to start the party relatively soon. On the guest list, we want to make sure that we have a few people on there who could become best friends with Paul, because he needs a few more best friends to complete the Everybody's Best Friend skill challenge in the Charisma skill. And with the invites sent out, it's now time to take care of Paul's wedding outfit. And this is what I decided to go with. If you remember back to one of the very first episodes, Pete actually wore something very similar to his wedding, and so the light blue suit on Paul is kind of a little tribute to that. Now, before things get started, Paul of course needs to take a shower, and we can see outside Ayesha has returned. After sending away a few gems, she can now grab the mail and we can immediately sell most of the stuff she just received. The reward certificate here is for Patrick for reaching level 10 in the cooking skill last episode. However, the main living area is absolutely cluttered at the moment, so I had to place it in Paul's and Chastity's room. It will not stay there permanently, however. Now that Paul has freed up the spot in front of the dresser, it's Chastity's turn. And for her, I decided to go with a relatively standard white dress, simply because the number of dresses in the game, at least in the base game, is pretty underwhelming. And perfect timing, Paul finishes his shower, that means Chastity can now do that as well, while Ayesha has come inside and will now sit in front of the computer to chat and raise her social bar, and Chastity's husband-to-be spends a bit of time with the Charisma skill book. And just like that, it seems like it's already time to get the party started. The first guest has arrived, but we actually have to do one more preparation. Just to create a bit of tradition, I would like Paul and Chastity to get married in front of the same tree and the same bushes that Pete and Ayesha got married in front of, so we'll have to place them in a slightly more accessible spot. Then Chastity finishes her shower, but we won't start the ceremony just yet. Instead, she can spend a bit more time playing guitar because we're waiting on one more person, and that is Patrick. He is just a few minutes away from being well rested, and so we might as well wait for him. And here we go now. At the top of your screen you can see Patrick is well rested and getting out of bed. Paul has also stopped reading, Chastity is putting away the guitar, and now the couple of the day is heading outside. And for the next minute or so, I will stay quiet and let you enjoy the moment. Alright, congratulations, Paul and Chastity are now husband and wife. Ayesha is actually the first one to leave the party, she will now collect again, while Patrick begins to befriend Dale Hinz, one of his co-workers. Inside the house, on this special occasion, Paul and Chastity will dine on some baked angel food cake. That will give them another small positive moodlet, as if they didn't have enough already. Outside, Patrick and Dale are up to friendship status, and that should now help Patrick's work performance quite significantly. To top off their special day, Paul and Chastity now find themselves in their locked bedroom, not to just raise their fun bar, but to actually try for a baby. Let's see how that goes. Okay, I did not hear that familiar jingle that normally plays when the try for baby action is successful, so I guess it didn't work then. Well, then I suppose we have something special left for the next episode. I would prefer to get Chastity pregnant while she already has days off from work because of her marriage. Otherwise, if we time it wrong, she could spend well over a week at home, and that certainly doesn't help her career plans. For now, to get a bit of routine back into the day, Paul will continue to read a charisma book, while Chastity can quickly use the toilet, and we can jump over to Patrick. He actually has to work today, and I sent him off to do that in the background. He has improved his relationship with Dale Hinz to a nice level, and he is due for a promotion today anyway, so we might as well have him suck up to his boss to improve that relationship too. For Chastity, we now find ourselves in the park, where she can now begin to play for tips again. Then, while watching Paul, we get interrupted by a career choice for Patrick. A fight has broken out in the restaurant, and of course we will have Patrick step in and intervene. That impresses boss and co-workers and improves relationships, so much in fact that if we now look at the work performance tab, all 4 requirements are bright green. Now we jump ahead 4.5 hours to the end of the workday for Patrick. Not much has happened in the meantime. Paul is still reading, Chastity is still playing guitar for tips, and Ayesha is still collecting. For Chastity, just because we can also quickly accept the Oh My Ghost opportunity. And then we can turn back to Patrick, who gets the promotion to pastry chef. Not only does he get over 1000 simoleons as a reward, but he also gets the Ingredient Eviscerator kitchen utility as a reward on top. So while Patrick now returns to take care of his garden, we can rearrange things in the kitchen a bit to fit that in. We have to buy another kitchen counter for that, but 800 simoleons surely doesn't hurt us at this point. And I would also like to have the Ingredient Eviscerator right next to the fridge, so that Patrick has the shortest way possible when cooking. I am not quite sure if the Eviscerator can be used to process ingredients for all dishes, so just in case it only works on a few and the rest of them have to be prepared manually, I have left an empty space on top of the dishwasher. Now, also the auto water function on the sprinkler didn't work for the last few days actually, and I also can't seem to activate it manually, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe we need to buy a new sprinkler. Anyway, by removing the weeds on the tree here, Patrick improves his gardening skill to level 6. That means, thanks to the green thumb trait, he is now able to revive plants. However, that is only really useful for the high quality, the special plants, and we cannot plant these until he's at level 7 in the gardening skill. A short while later, Ayesha returns from her collecting trip, ready to send away a few gems and metals, while Patrick has also finished his tour through the garden and is now currently taking a shower. And with the day of her marriage quickly coming to an end, we can also tell Chastity to stop playing for tips and return back home. It is getting late and her needs are starting to pile up. At home, a very tired Ayesha is the first one to go to bed, while Paul and Patrick meet in the kitchen area, Patrick with a gardening skill book, and Paul, who informs us that the laptop is broken during the wedding party, to grab something out of the fridge to eat. First up though is the returning Chastity, and a few seconds later all 3 are sitting around the dinner table. After dinner, Paul is the next one to go to bed, and his wife Chastity joins him after a quick trip to the toilet. Over at the table, Patrick fulfills his wish to read a book about gardening. We get 500 lifetime happiness points for that, and we can quickly have him call the repair service for the laptop. Afterwards, he can also go to bed. And as the repairman arrives, we can see the teleportation pad has also broken. Now it is fixed again and he can take care of the laptop. Wonderful, now that is taken care of as well. We pay 50 simoleons for both repairs, quite a bargain to be honest, and that wraps up the day. Now I would have loved to build something in this episode as well, but I feel like we have quite a few changes in the household coming up and I would like to postpone it until then. We will have children soon. I honestly don't know how long Ayesha is going to stay alive, and Patrick is also not destined to stay alone forever, so once all of that has kind of settled a bit, we can begin building again. For now, let's make a cut in this episode. In the next one, we will then start another week in Sunset Valley. Until then, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Cheers.